Welcome back to the 5-7 podcast. I'm your host, Mike Pre. Today I'm going to talk about our political atmosphere, and I don't mean this from a Republican or a Democratic standpoint. I mean this from I consider myself a centrist. Whether you pay attention to politics or not, or just recently started paying attention to it, I think it's fair to say that things are wrong, or things don't seem to be right. I don't think it matters what side of the aisle you are on. You can see that things should be in a better place than they are right now. I think it's frustrating to know that our only choices are Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Yes, there is a libertarian running by the name of Dr. Jo Jorgensen, but to be honest with you, I don't think she has much of a chance of winning, which begs another question. Have the Democratic Party and the Republican Party gotten too powerful that any other candidate comes along and they don't have a snowball's chance because of these two parties? One place where you can see how people feel is on Facebook or Twitter. You can get everyone's unabashed view on both candidates, how much they hate the other, and so forth. Social media has become a place where not only do people get their views, but a new place where they can give their opinion on it. If you go to a party, more than likely someone's going to bring up today's political atmosphere. Now, I always recommend not to talk politics at parties. On second thought, maybe it is a good idea, because things have gotten different, recently. I would say over maybe with the past 15 years, where people are openly willing to talk about politics with their friends, where previously it was pretty much a known rule not to talk religion or politics with people. Now I think people are voicing their political view with their friends and family than ever before. A bad side effect of this is that friends and family are losing respect for each other and going their separate ways because of their political differences. Sure, I bet this stuff has happened before, but I don't think the vitriol for both candidates has been this potent before. Big talking points right now is Joe Biden's inability to keep his mind in one place at a time. He seems to lose himself a lot in interviews. Sure, some of these videos that you see on the internet will splice together videos and take things completely out of context. At the same time, if you watch him live, it seems like he isn't all there. Now, on the past presidential debate, he seemed more put together than he has in the past months. But that the last political debate was such a shit show. I think that it was fair of him to kind of just go off the cuff, which isn't necessarily a good thing for him. But it didn't seem to be out of place during the debate. Now, on the other hand, you have President Trump, who puts his foot in his mouth more often than not, but seems like the country has gotten more divided under his presidency. I'm not saying it's all him. I think this started back with President Obama. I'm saying that I think it has continued under President Trump, though, which leads to another question. Are we manipulated by the mainstream media? Now, I've spoken about this before, and whether we are manipulated or not is up to your own personal not beliefs, but can you see what is going on in front of you? Some people watch the news and they say, hey, you know what? I believe everything that's coming to me. And other people kind of take it with a grain of salt. Now, maybe some people are happy with the way things are going. They fully support their candidate and are going to vote that way when it comes election time. I'm not going to talk about them today. I'm going to talk about another group of people, the people who are down the middle, like I mentioned before, people who don't know who to vote for, people who are traditionally one way but are considering voting another way because they don't support the candidate of their party. Someone brought up the question to me the other day, how do I vote? I'm a Republican that doesn't support Donald Trump. Actually, I've heard people say that they are Democrats and not support Joe Biden. Just that statement alone goes to show you how sour things have turned. So what is it? Is it the person that you don't like, or is it his politics? In President Trump's case, there's a large group of people that do not like him. In Joe Biden's case, I think there are a lot of people who like him and respect him. The problem is that he's too old. Now, President Trump, he has done some good things. Now, I'm not going to go over the good things and the bad things today, but what I am going to say is that he has done some good things. People don't like to hear that. They just want to say President Trump's the most rotten person that they've ever heard of or ever seen, but he has done some good things. On Joe Biden's age, maybe if he would have ran 15 years earlier, he'd be a good president. But one of the main problems that we have is that Kamala Harris is running as his vice president. And she's someone that I cannot support at all. by any means. So if something were to happen to Joe Biden while he's president, she would be the president if something happened to him. And I have a problem with that. She goes behind her record a lot, but that got blown out of the water when she was running for the Democratic nominee for president, when Tulsi Gabbard mentioned about her record. What I'm mentioning about her record is that she willingly withheld a DNA test for a man that was going on death row. Now, if there's a 1% chance or even a 10% chance or a 1% chance that somebody could be innocent of a crime and they're on death row, they should be given every opportunity to present their innocence. And she did not do that. And I have a problem with that because she cares more about her record than people. Now, if she has that kind of power as a district attorney, or what will she do as president? And that really bugs me, and that really I can't support that. If anything, she mass incarcerated African Americans under her watch than anybody ever before. But you can't say that she did not mass incarcerate Black Americans. Now, she was caught laughing one time because she laughed about that she had done marijuana. Now, under her watch, she prosecuted a lot of people who had done marijuana. And I think it's pretty hypocritical to say that you've done it and you're prosecuting people that are doing it. And it leads into another point because we're going into policy. And one of the main problems that we have is with the Senate and the House of Representatives. I think we need term limits for them. Under no circumstance should someone be in Congress for 30 years. These career politicians are one of the biggest problems that we have. There comes to a point where the power grab has to stop. We need new blood in the House and Senate to solve many of the problems that we're having and get these self-serving politicians out of power. And the same thing is with the Supreme Court. I propose a 10-year appointment to the Supreme Court so we don't have judges dying in there just so their power doesn't shift to one political party or the other. The same thing with Congress. Maybe we should have a 5 to 10 year term limits on representatives how about maybe 6 to 12 years where they have to run, after another predetermined amount of time, so that we don't have these people that are sitting in Washington for 30 years and making a career out of it, because clearly that is not working. We've had people that have been there for a long time and it's not working keeping the same people in there. We need fresh blood and younger people to tackle some of these newer problems that we're having. So those are just a couple ideas that I have to solve that. Our political atmosphere is very frayed. Our country is divided. And whatever happens coming up, I think people should start taking a more concerted effort in their local politics and changing things in that spectrum, because our local politics, they impact us much more. They impact us much more in our daily lives than our federal politicians, our federal representatives do. They propose big federal laws, but our local politicians are the ones that they impact our daily lives. So when this is over, be sure to get more involved in your local political scene. I'm not talking about running. I'm just saying looking who's running, looking into them, seeing what they're doing, and making a concerted effort on these on local issues and people who are running your local government. And then after you feel that you've done that, take a look at your state government a little deeper and see what's going on there. And I live in Illinois, and Mike Madigan has been, in the capital of Illinois for God knows how long, but he's being investigated right now for corruption, which he should be. But that's another story for another time, and another example of these career politicians doing nothing for the people, but only self-serving themselves. So be careful out there, guys, with protests going on and everything going on. Be careful. take a look and see, when you're going to go visit a new area, if you're going to go visit someone, see if there's any protest along your route, so that you don't get caught up in something that you definitely don't want to get caught up in. Be safe, everybody, and take care of yourselves. This is Pre out.